Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am taking advantage of the gorgeous weather. We live in northern Michigan and typically this time of year it's either very cold or we already have many inches of snow. And it is beautiful. It's in the 60s. So I'm taking advantage of the day and I'm heading out. I'm driving down our property. We have 65 acres and we have a 2-track. And so I'm driving down with my truck and I'm going to see if I can find some perfect, well, I think I want 2, well, maybe more than 2. We'll see if I can find more than 2 because I might put a Christmas tree in the greenhouse, but I'm gonna find 2 or 3 Christmas trees to decorate the porch and the greenhouse with. And then I'm also going to see if I can selectively find some evergreen trees, some pines that I can make my annual Christmas garland out of. So typically I make garland for the front porch. Last year I made it for the pavilion to string all around, and this year I might put some on the greenhouse. So I've gotta get a lot of tree branch clippings. I love driving out to the base of our hill because these are some trees that we don't want to grow up. We don't want them to block our view in the future. So every year I just kind of come down here and selectively pick a few to trim and use for Christmas decorations. So that's what I'm up to today. I couldn't be more excited about how gorgeous this weather is. It's absolutely beautiful. Even though it doesn't feel like Christmas today because it's so warm and sunny, I'm gonna be so glad that I got this done and got it all up before it gets any colder because we do have snow in the forecast for a couple days from now. So if I can get this up in the next day or two, I will be thrilled. Don't worry, I'm not driving on the road. I'm just driving on our property. We have a 2-track that goes all the way to the back of our property, and hopefully one day we'll be able to build a bridge to go over our creek so we can actually drive to the other side of our property because we do have about 40 acres on the other side of our creek, and right now we just have to wade through it. And luckily, if we wear really tall rain boots, we can get through it most of the year. In the spring it's a little high, but it would be awesome to have a bridge that we could drive across. So I'm gonna drive back here to where we have a lot of the pine trees that are growing up that I don't want to block our view. I see quite a few of them back here. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull up and turn around and get out my snips and start gathering. Oh, here's a little cute Christmas tree. I think this one will be perfect for the greenhouse. So when I say Charlie Brown Christmas tree, this is what I mean. I mean one that looks really natural, kind of like it's never been trimmed and a little sparse on the top, and they're just so cute. And I love putting them out on the porch. They get covered in snow and they're really, really pretty. You don't hardly have to decorate them at all. I mean, typically I just either string popcorn and cranberries for the birds or I just leave them plain because they just look so pretty all by themselves. I'm just gonna grab my gloves and some of my shears and my snips and head out and see if I can gather as much as I did last year. Last year I filled the entire bed of the truck and it was like heaping over. So this year my goal is to at least get that much again. So I have enough to make garland for both the porch and the pavilion and possibly the greenhouse, and probably throw in at least, like I said, 3 Christmas trees, if not more. So this is the view from the bottom of the hill, but that's the hill that we're building our house on. You can't even see it because so many trees have grown up already, but making sure that I take the time to come down here and thin out any of these pine trees is super important to me. Like I said before, it's a beautiful day. I can't even believe this. This is awesome. I don't think I've ever made garland on this nice of a day. Typically I'm freezing my tail off, but back here, way up there is where we're building our house. So we definitely don't want all of these trees growing up because then it would be like we're living in the woods, and we definitely don't want that. We don't want to be in the shade. We want to have the best views that we possibly can from up there. We want to be able to see down into the valley and see our creek and all of that. So all of these trees are up for grabs. They can definitely go, and I like that they're very soft, so they'll be easy to work with. Some of them are very big, so obviously I'm not gonna cut them down, but I am gonna trim off their branches, put them in the bed of the truck, and use them for garland. Just hiking up this hill a little ways, looking to see what we have up here. A lot of these are gonna be perfect, not for little Christmas trees on the porch, but for the garland. All of these are very soft. I like that they have like really thin branches, and I can just trim this really easily, and this makes the perfect garland. I'm going to drive around to the other side of this hill to a spot where I know that we have pine trees growing up. And I'm going to see if I can get some clippings from there. So I'm gonna very carefully turn around. So I don't scratch my truck in any of these trees, and head over there. So I have hit the jackpot. The back of my truck, maybe you can see it, it's like full. And I only have to get 2 more trees. Those I'm going to dig up. I could cut them and put them in a stand to put on the porch, but I've done that before and we get very high winds and they just blow right over. Like every single day, they'll just blow right over. So I found that if I dig up the root system, or at least some of it, and then I put it in my pots on the front porch, they don't blow away because I pack it down with soil and it works perfectly. So that's what I'm gonna do. It takes a lot more effort to dig up a Christmas tree, but at least then I don't have it tipping over every single day. And for me, it's worth it. And it's a good calorie burn too, so that's a bonus. Back in the truck, all done gathering everything. Hopefully I have enough, but I've got so much that I definitely think I have enough to get started. I just used my daughter's key. I drive a Ford truck, she drives a Ford Expedition, and I have her spare on my key ring, so I'm constantly using her key for my car. Anyway, so we're all done. I'm gonna head back up to the house, and then I'm gonna start trimming all of the branches and make a pile and see if I have enough. I can always run back down here if I don't have enough. But my goal is to, for the first string of garland, I think I'm gonna do 40 feet. Our porch is 38 feet, so I typically do around 40 feet, and that's plenty to get like a little bit of a swag in there, a little bit of a droop. But yeah, I'm excited to get started, and you really can't beat this weather. It's absolutely gorgeous. Back up by the house, I was starting to get very sticky and I had like sap all down my arms, and so I decided to better put my hair out before I get pine pitch in my hair. But I grabbed some of the materials that I'm gonna need. I just grabbed a huge spool of rope and of course my snips, and then I've also got my floral wire and a measuring tape. And what I'm gonna do is, I've done this before, so I've got these 16-foot farmhouse tables that I built a couple summers ago. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tie the rope to one of the legs down on the end, and then I'm gonna run it all the way down and drape it over a few feet and then come all the way back down. That worked really well last year. The first year I made garland, I remember I did it on the porch, like on the concrete, and I was on my knees for a couple hours, and that was like really painful for my knees. So having this table to work on is a lot better, and I don't end up hurting my back or my knees. It's great. I don't know if you can tell, but this is actually a really huge pile. I went and I got my wheelbarrow, and I'm going to wheel it down to the pavilion down here and work on one of my tables. It'll be a lot easier than working on the ground. very easy to do. Like I said before, I'm just gonna take some of this string and tie it to the leg of the table just to hold it in place so it doesn't slide around while I'm pulling on it and wrapping the garland around it. So I'm gonna do that first. And then I'm just going to run it the length of the table. To start off, this is very simple. You just take the floral wire and you attach it and you just wrap it around a few times, making sure that it's really secure. And once you've got that in place, you're just gonna take some of your branches and you're gonna kind of pinch them together like this, and you're gonna wrap your floral wire around. I usually do about 3 times. Make sure it's very secure before I move on to the next one. But now that I've got that on there, I'm gonna grab a few more. I'm going to move about like 6 to 8 inches down my rope and continue with the same wire, just wrapping it around and pulling really tight as I go. It's just as simple as that. It's so easy. And you can alternate depending on like what types of greenery you have. I know a lot of people have cedar, which is great. We don't have any cedar on our property. I wish we did. I would definitely use that or juniper, but depending on what you have, you can alternate it to get a really, really natural, pretty look. I still have quite a bit of branches left. This wheelbarrow is just full. So I think I'm going to use these to make a couple of wreaths, one for the porch door and one for the greenhouse door. I'm heading out to the greenhouse. I thought I would show you the 2 little trees that I potted out here. I do plan on using my leftover greenery, making a wreath for the greenhouse door, but I'll spin you guys around and show you these little trees. Obviously, I have to take down my corn husk wreath. That is very fall. It doesn't look quite right there, but I'll take that down and I'll get a really festive, Christmas wreath. But I really liked these 2 little Charlie Brown trees that I found out on their property, and I thought they would look really cute. You can tell a little bit better from this view, but they're pretty sparse little trees, but they're gonna look so pretty if I string some popcorn on them for the birds or some cranberries. And once they have some snow on the branches, it'll just dress it up a little bit, make it look a little festive. So this is one of the planters that I had on the porch, and I just dug out a little tree so the roots would actually hold it down in. If I cut a tree down and put it in a stand here, it would just blow away. So I found that digging up the roots and bringing it in and packing the soil around it keeps it, heavy enough so it doesn't blow over. And then I've had these 2 barrel looking planters since we moved here, and I love swapping out what I put in here. And typically I'll put a tree in this one and a tree in that one, and I just try to find something that's like got some character. It doesn't have to be perfect. I like that they're not perfect. I think they look cute this way, and of course they're natural, so they look really great with all of the fresh garland that's up here. I really wouldn't want to put anything faux out here. It would just blow away. Like I said, anything plastic that isn't heavy or weighted down would blow right off this porch in a winter storm. So I'm starting to lose my daylight, but I'm going to make some Christmas wreaths and decorate the porch a whole lot more on another day. I'll make sure and take you guys along when I do that. I'm so glad I got my garland up because wouldn't you know it, a couple days later we got quite a bit of snow.